Hey everyone, I'm taking a little break from my big upcoming video to let you know about a really promising early access indie game out of Ukraine. If you've been following the war, you've doubtless seen a lot of videos from quadcopter drones bonking Russian invaders with a variety of creative munitions. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to show any of them here, but I'm sure if you've seen what I'm talking about, you may have wondered how long would it be until someone finally turns this into a video game. Well, guess what? It's happening. Death from Above is available in early access on Steam, and it's the first attempt I've seen to model the kind of drone warfare we've seen in this war. Without getting into too much detail, let's just say that this is one of the many things in my wheelhouse, so naturally I had to check it out. The game uses the Unreal Engine and has a first-person player perspective, but the real star is the quadcopter drone, clearly modeled on the DJI Mavic 3 thermal cam equipped drone. The story so far is that you're a Ukrainian soldier who was knocked out and captured, but you escape when a local babusia takes out your captors with poison mushroom pies. It's a nice touch because this actually happened on at least one occasion in Russian-occupied Ukraine.
Our pies.
Armed with a drone and a crate of grenades, you have to make your way through enemy territory using a drone to clear a path. Now, it's pretty obvious this game is in its early stages, so it's hard to say what to expect from it in the future. But from what I've seen, there's a lot of promise and huge potential for this kind of modern warfare game. Your drone can be customized with a variety of patterns, including one featuring a NAFO fella. Remember, expansion is non-negotiable. As far as I can see, there's a tutorial and one map. You can move your character around before deploying the drone, and you can either follow the drone in third-person view or via the camera, which you use when targeting enemies. Unfortunately, it seems you can't adjust the camera to look forward like on a real drone, but we may see that feature added later. Your drone can carry either anti-tank or anti-personnel munitions, and these can be switched out when you bring the drone back to the operator to reload. In addition to enemy soldiers, you can bomb light vehicles and tanks with the aforementioned anti-tank munitions. One of the more humorous aspects of the game is the ability to recover stolen washing machines and bring them to their rightful owners. Unfortunately, it seems you can't get a special kill by dropping washing machines on the Russian soldiers, but more on that later. Your drone also has the ability to broadcast a surrender message to get soldiers to give up. This is another reference to something that actually happened at least once in real life this past year. By far the best surrender line is when your operator tells the soldiers they'll have more rights as a POW in Ukraine than as an ordinary citizen in Russia, which is more or less true.
В українському полоні ви отримаєте більше прав і свобод, ніж будь-коли мали в Росії.
My only gripe here is that the appeals to surrender are in Ukrainian when it makes more sense that they'd be in Russian. Now, this game is so new that it's hard to make any judgments or predict where it's going to go in the future. So I'm just going to lay out a sort of wish list of things I'd hope to see in this game, and feel free to discuss it in the comments. First of all, wind and weather. I'm fairly certain the devs plan to put a wind mechanic in this game, but so far it doesn't seem to be there. This would give you the challenge of having to fly against the wind, line up targets properly, and also lead them to account for wind resistance. Another nice realism feature would be different types of anti-personnel grenades. See, the anti-armor munitions we use are of an impact variety, but when dealing with troops under foliage, tarps, or camo netting, you don't want to use something like a VOG grenade with an impact fuse. In that case, you want something like a hand grenade with a timed fuse, like the old Soviet F1 or American M67. This, of course, adds another element of challenge, because you could vary your altitude depending on whether you want the hand grenade to explode immediately, or whether you want it to possibly, say, roll into a bunker or building. I also think a game like this could really benefit from differing levels of realism. I don't expect them to make a full-on simulator like Liftoff, the FPV drone sim actually used by the Ukrainian military, but I think a high realism mode with specific challenges would give people an insight into what it's actually like to use these drones in combat. I can say from experience that the videos you see online make it look easy. In reality, drones are lost all the time for a variety of reasons, from wind to anti-drone guns and other electronic warfare systems. It'd also be nice if in part of the campaign your character could reach friendly lines where they acquire the ability to use a workshop to upgrade the drone or even use other larger drones. Maybe craft special munitions as well. More customization for the player and drone would always be welcome, I think. Personally, for the sake of realism, I'd leave out the washing machine recovery in the main campaign and maybe make it a special mode, maybe something non-violent for the kids. Finally, a mode where you use the drone to call in artillery would also add another dimension to the gameplay. I'm sure the devs have a lot of their own ideas, but I hope at least some of these make it into the final product. In any case, I recommend checking it out if only to support Ukrainian game devs, and besides that, they're donating part of the proceeds to Come Back Alive's Army of Drones project. Come Back Alive is one of the best Ukrainian charities you could donate to. Really looking forward to see what they can do with this game in the future. Okay folks, I know that's a really short review there, but I thought I just had to get that out before my next video. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, spread the word out there. Check the description below and you can find out how to get to my Patreon page where you can become a patron and keep supporting my work. Once again, thanks for watching, thanks to all my current patrons, and I'll catch you next time.